of the two, in my opinion. Period. Oh, and that being said, speaking of winning or driving me insane, please welcome one half of the VIPs of the Super Level Studios and the Dominguez. Emmanuel has joined us for NXT's Great American Bash, where, of course, America is the melting pot, the land of opportunity, and it welcomes all forms of life. Emmanuel, good to see you tonight. How you feel about NXT GAB, and please lend your thoughts towards Zarya and Tatum Paxley. I am not Dr. Seuss, by the way. I did not mean for that to rhyme.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I checked Instagram today, and just right now, I almost missed the predictions, but.
Trust me, you got plenty more. I'm a madman. You got plenty more to mess around with me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we've only done 2 matches so far, Manuel, so you still got in here pretty early out of 7 because they added 3 tonight. So
yeah, exactly.
So Great American Bash is pretty good, solid round matches, in my opinion. It really showcased what NXT has been it's going to be about now, since most of the key players have gone up. A lot of people have been. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something.
Like, no, I was waiting for you. I just feel your brain just paused for a second.
Oh, no. I thought I was having mic issues or something like that. Anyway,
no, you're good. You're perfect. Both of you.
Okay, good. Okay, so and a lot of people have been saying that it's not as good, and it's not as because of the new upcomers and everything like that. And people need to realize NXT is not a third brand. It's just a developmental brand.
Say that.
Yeah.
Like you say it 3 times fast.
Yeah, and. It's way to showcase these young talent and what they could do. And the Tatum Paxley Zarya match is pretty obvious. Tatum Paxley just lost the title and Zarya just gained it, so it would be kind of weird to give her back to Tatum. So Zarya needs to keep the momentum up. And there's nothing much to say. I mean, like, there's rumors of Tatum might she had her goodbyes, but they're keeping her still. So it makes me wonder if she is really going up to Raw or SmackDown. There's nothing really much else to do with her because she was NXT Women's Champion and the North American champion, and now what? Like what do you do with her? And I like Kane Paxley, but I think her necessary in NXT is pretty much done. So I think they're just waiting for SummerSlam to bring her up. That could be wrong.
I mean, again, we did talk about transfer portal, and how many times do you see players drafted onto the opposite teams necessarily, or considered for a different draft? I mean, so I could definitely see there being some change ups again. Hopefully, honestly, probably a good thing. But after SummerSlam, based on the results across all 3 brands, to your point, because someone tells me I would think NXT would bring us Heat Wave, but you saw how long it took them to bring GAB. Then again, at least it makes sense considering what time it is. But that being said, I do understand what you mean. So as you also agree with us about Zarya, Charlotte Hill and Tristan Angels in less than a minute. What do you think about that?
Charlotte Hill's going to win this. It's because it was kind of predictable because of Mr. NXT. You know where
Mr. NXT.
That's the gimmick. That's the storyline. But he is Mr. NXT, Charlie Hill.
Bloody hell.
Sadly, no. I know. I have all the people like you could have done Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole. Like there's a lot of good names. Finn Balor. Like the list goes on. Those are great names for Mr. NXT.
Even Page was Mr. NXT, for freaking sake.
Yeah.
He was Canadian.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So,
all right. But continue and finish your point.
Yeah, so for me, it's for me like he needs to get his sash back, his sash,
Yeah,
and
that's what
that's
he
the
stole.
yeah, and so that's what the storyline is about. He might
Sash.
win by he might win by DQ for all I know, and that's how. And they continue the storyline after this. I'm not sure, but everyone surprised me if I forget his name is his opponent,
Tristan Angels.
Treasure Angel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Could win this by cheating. Everyone would shock me or surprise me, and that's the way to continue the feud. But for me, Charlotte Hill needs to win this and just end the storyline. Like just give him the sash and just move on.
As long as it doesn't become a sash and a pole match, bro. But again, I might be literally giving Shawn Michaels food for thought. We do have him and Robert Stone running this NXT, whatever it's becoming. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for that. Well, let's go ahead and move on from there now into someone get a stopwatch on, see if I can sum this up for you in less than 5 minutes. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay, folks. So apparently the WWE Women's Speed Championship is on the line. And Winston Clare, who of course won it back against Fallon Henry back in March, of course, has not defended the title since. Of course, she's been on crutches after the follow with Kalani Jordan and Kendall Gray. Of course, Kendall Gray was able to beat Kalani Jordan to become the NXT Women's Supercard Championship number one contender. Ariana Grace, of course, was apparently able to come number one contender tonight after beating Izzy Daniels as part of this small tournament. Sorry if you hell had to lose with this. So that being said, the Speed Championship's on the line. And again, it only takes 5 minutes to become a new champion. Okay. So that being said, this 5-minute title is on the line as Winston Clare is defending it for the first time against Ariana Grace, who won her way through a small tournament. You know how this goes, in case you don't know, and you can go Microman, put this on half speed to understand everything that I said. This, you know what? Let me go ahead and reduce things to normal. This match is for a title that is defended within a 5-minute time limit. If it goes to the draw, the champion retains. Title only changes hands via pinfall or submission inside the ring. Winston Clare is going into her first defense since winning the title back in March. It has not been defended at all since. So that being said, do we believe that Ariana Grace, the former TNA Knockouts World Champion, is she going to win this title that is really relevant in NXT? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. Amanda, I will start with you.
Man, Noah, did you get lessons from that Saved by the Bell guy? Those fast speech talk dude for those famous commercials that speed things up because
I understand that reference.
I understood it too, and you know what? I've been called many of things. Maybe I should just become an auctioneer. You know what I mean? Look, if you're gonna call something speed and you're talking to a simple man that doesn't do what Tony Montana was on during Scarface, but I still think you're a lesson. And shoot, it is what it is. I'm gonna freaking make the gimmick actually matter. Because are you not entertained? Because where the frick do we have a title that is literally only involved for 5 fucking minutes? That being said, that's not a here or there. We're not having a TED talk on titles based on literally velocity of a small wrestling showcase, if that, which is a shorter blip than a DoorDash order. Just give your thoughts towards who you're going to think is going to leave the Women's Speed Championship.
I think Ariana Grace might take this. I mean, like, it's sure it's the Speed Championship. No, you're not supposed to take it really seriously in this type of matchup. I mean, it's a 5-minute matchup. Like either way, like you're saying that like certain opponents are just done like that. Like, it does not make sense. I just don't know what to think about the speed title. It is what it is.
That's
like,
fair.
I really don't like the stipulation of the rules, but it's one of those like if you miss it, you really didn't miss much. Like it's so stupid that the first round they presented with the NXT, they both got the time ran out, and they both got eliminated, and it's so dumb. Like it's like I don't know what else to say or to justify this logic of a title.
Jimmy's just waiting for Fia Hell to hold a title again, and she was involved in the tournament. Unfortunately, bro, she was on that side of things.
Yes, that's it. And when I see the rumors about Thea, she's going to back her ball, which we want to hurt her, but because she's so young. But it's like one of those things. Like, what do you do with her? And NXT right now has a personality. I'm not sure what you
demoted.
Yeah. But it is what it is, sadly. But she's young. Like she's good. Like, it's just one of those things. Like you need to figure out what to do with her, characterize and that kind of thing.
Right, fair enough.
But
that being said, you already spent longer than the 5-minute time limit, I think, on about this match.
I know, but I'm just saying the outside interference and the distraction is going to be a major factor, and that's what cost Ren Sinclair because her bestie, Canada Great, is going to be busy. She won't have any help at all. So it wouldn't surprise me or shock me if Honor Grace wins this match.
Fair enough. Well, hey, maybe it'll get her a sponsorship with DiGiorno, but Lord knows Ren Sinclair has far more talent and character development than Honor Grace has in her pinky, despite the fact she's the daughter of Santino Marella. No, and I mean that sincerely.
And that's the last point. There'll be 2 speed championships that the rebirth.
Oh, that's right. The men's one is also held by Timu Pillman. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Well, that being said, that was going to be a very sad Wednesday, though, if Ren Sinclair loses. So let's see. What do I say about TNA? Oh, yeah. Fuck the Elegance brand. What am I going to say about this NXT? Oh, yeah. Fuck the birthright. I don't care if it's a freaking sticker speedometer. She don't need jack shit. And Ren Sinclair is far more worth my time in this brand than anything connected to someone that might as well have been a vasectomy. So I'm going to pray that Ren Sinclair retains. Let the clock run out. Hopefully she doesn't have a bad leg. Fuck the point. Fuck the birthright. Ren Sinclair retained, damn it. I don't give a fuck. This is just the Ren Sinclair for the win. Because I am all about the win QCC. Honestly, I want both to win. Maybe it's a first round in my later prediction. You'll have to wait and see. Ren for the win. All right, JJ. So, under or over 2.5 minutes for this match if you choose. Do you have Ren or do you have Grace winning the sticker championship?
I hate the fact that you let Emmanuel go first because he pretty much pulled every single one of my points. What was the word I told you to remember?
Irrelevant.
No. Insufferable.
Insufferable. That's what I meant. Insufferable. Sorry.
Ariana Grace with this title, with the birthright having both speed championships, would make them even more insufferable than they already are.
Just burn.
And I want to give full credit to the Wrestling Junkies podcast because I heard them talk about this earlier. So I'm kind of like jacking their philosophy on it.
Okay.
But what they said really stuck with me. The birthright is a low to mid card act. I don't really see them getting into that upper echelon, upper mid card. Unless a certain main roster superstar comes to NXT who has a birthright of her own, recently reinvented her own gimmick, and still hasn't been getting shown too much. Last was seen on NXT, earning the Guinness Book of World Records for most submissions by a man or a woman in WWE.
Wow.
Miss Natty Neidhart.
Who just kicked Jenna Parker's ass.
I don't see them elevating unless they get someone like a Natty in their stable. So a low to mid card act with a low mid card title. Because at the end of the day, the speed title is the equivalent of the European title, the 24/7 title, the hardcore title. It's not IC, it's not US, but it's a lower mid card title.
The European is still spades above all those other ones you named.
Given. And the European title, as far as belt designs, one of my top 10, maybe top 5 of all time.
I could go with the top 10 on that. You got to remember, I look at all things wrestling.
But, you know, I could see, to Emmanuel's point, I can see Ariana taking the title off of Ren, because again, to your own point, Ren is worth so much more than the speed title.
Yeah, I was actually going to use her more, though.
Maybe Ren can be the one to eventually dethrone Zarya. But in order to get her there, you got to move her past the speed title. And especially, like you pointed out, she won the title, got injured, hasn't defended it. This isn't Ren's first injury.
No, unfortunately.
Ariana, to her credit, and I know you don't want to give her any credit, but to her credit, had a decent, we won't call it a great, but a decent run as Knockouts champion. She did better than people thought she would. Give her that much credit. And as soon as she wins, you know they're going to start another tournament to see who's going to be her next challenger, because that's what speed is. You don't just have, oh, next week she's going to defend it against this person. You have to do a tournament to see who's going to challenge for it. So we're going to go through this process all over again. And maybe in a couple of months, she'll lose it. Maybe she will have elevated her character and be worthy of retaining it. That's the great thing about the speed title, is that the speed title, more than anything, allows you to develop character as a champion, because you don't really have to defend it so frequently because of the tournament that has to happen to get your contender. So week in and week out, you're coming out with the belt and you have to present yourself as a champion. This gives her room to develop more as a character. And if in the time until we get her next contender, she's developed quite a bit within this birthright, within the stable, could be a good thing. Ren, more than enough character.
Still, fuck the birthright. I don't give a fuck. When might as well hold on to it. They're not going to do anything more with her, especially if she is this injury prone at this point, because at least I have something presentable to look at an NXT clip. But I understand all your points, and they do seem valid. I might fuck myself with a point, but honestly, don't give a shit. Ren for the win. That should be a shirt right there. Hey, WWE, make a shirt that actually doesn't look ugly. All right.
I still want them to make Ren XT shirts. Like, come on, the money is right there. Maybe that'll come to our store next.
You can only hope. Again, about to say Teespring, make a shirt a reality. All right, with that being said, fuck birthright.
Speaking of, go to Teespring and look into the Simply Reliable Studios store. Link in the description of the YouTube video.
Cheap plug.
You can actually buy your very own Emmanuel Card t-shirt. You weren't able to buy an Emmanuel Card mouse pad at Comic-Con Revolution, but you can go to our store and buy an Emmanuel Card t-shirt.
Mick Foley, improve.
Different sizes, and coffee mugs, and stickers.
Fuck that. Fuck birthright. Fuck dark state. And that's what we're going to segue to.
Emmanuel Card sticker into your deck and actually use it as a card.
I'm going to stick to what I should say, a fuck all to as the simple version of Super Studios in the most prolific way. Let's go ahead and talk about this dark state blow-off, as this match is not going to be in the dark but brought to light. It's Dion Lennox versus Saquon Sugars. That is the most generic creator wrestler name I've ever heard in my fucking life. That being said, folks, you are looking at two members of the faction Dark State, no longer a faction together. As after, I think it was over the tag team championship. Yeah, that's it. The NXT tag team championships, and they fell short. There was tensions about Dion Lennox maybe not being there for the group, maybe being there more for himself, especially with recent opportunities he got or tried to create for himself regarding the NXT North American Championship and even the NXT Championship. Let's not forget, he was part of the Iron Survivor last year, and that's really where all these tensions started to form. After Saquon Suggs apparently couldn't keep up with the group, it felt like, they ousted him, shield powerbomb way and assault through the announce table, and he's basically been on a vendetta against his former brother since. So straight up, it's a one-on-one match. They did some sort of chronicle on him, I think, last week on NXT. Dion Lennox didn't get a shit. And now we find these two going one-on-one as these former brothers of rebellion are now looking for revenge against one another. Dion Lennox, obviously, for the group. Shaquan now for himself. Straight up, it's a grudge match. It's as simple as that. But who knows? Something might come from this. Dion Lennox, who's developed character development since, of course, the Iron Survivor challenge, especially to confront the ruler, Obafemi, who, of course, right now is the mainstay on the main roster. Stay tuned. We'll talk more about that on City Predicting Night of Champions, folks. And Shaquan, well, now he's trying to find his way and his place in this NXT. And honestly, there's no real babyface here. You just have somebody that was basically dropped straight to the hood by literally his former gang members. Basically, a gang member trained by his own gang. That's about as old as a Saints Row video game storyline. Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. That's a great picture, by the way. FIAKL, keep evolving, quote unquote. Emmanuel, do you have any thoughts regarding Shaquan Shugs and Dion Lennox? Saying those names just sounds even bizarre. Just like, what do you guys say regarding this grudge match?
Well, there's nothing much else to say about this. No, I mean, like,
not really. Jesus.
It's sure, like, it's Dark State, it's just like this view is like, it's a
thing. It's a thing. It's a thing.
It's like it was way too soon to break him up, in my opinion. But I get I get it. Like maybe there weren't like the Shield type of main event.
I mean, it was May 19th. The two tagged together. They lost the tag titles. Wah against Vanity Project, who beat them for them in the first place. Might I add? This was actually the rematch. And they're like, fuck you.
Yeah. And do you really want to continue this feud? I know NXT did well, so I have to go with Dion Lennox for the win. With all honesty. It wouldn't surprise me if Sugars gets his up, like his victory, and then they attack him, they keep attacking him, and that's how they continue the feud either way. But Dion Lennox needs to win it and make sure there's a reason why he's the leader of Darkseid and why they kicked him out. If not, then you really made him look like a fool. Like Shaquan Sugars is better than your leader. So at this point, like you don't give him the win yet. You give him the win later, in my opinion. So for me, Dion Lennox needs to win this.
Fair enough. Well, JJ, Dion Lennox, ever since ousting Shaquan, I mean, Dark State, and again, there's not leaders, I guess they're equals. Where have I heard that before? Core, sorry. He has been on a winning streak. He beat Jasper Troy, and also with, I think, Osiris, I think they even won as a tag team. At the end of the day, Dark State's greatest advantage during their dark era here since existing in NXT has always been the numbers game. And ousting a former member with a game mentality, it seems like it writes itself while they're trying to character develop. This guy that we don't even know about might be a cast off from Friday. It feels like to me that this is going to be something ongoing. Because right now, I don't think they got anything else for Dark State as a whole. And these are the two most, I guess you could say, character-defined individuals of that foursome. With Dion Lennox having the backup of the other members, though, it feels like this is going to be an uphill battle. And I don't think they just shoot their load all at once at Great American Bash. But what do you think based on the context of what you've heard here? Do you think that we see Dion Lennox lose, or do they send another painful message at the expense of what they called the weak link that they ousted?
I feel like Shaquan Sugars has to get his revenge.
This soon? It's been a month.
Yeah, I mean, they kicked him out of the group. He's got to get his comeuppance against the leader. Like, not every feud needs to go forever.
I get that, but I mean, it could be just a short-term thing, couple of months. I mean, that continue.
Like, when is the next big show going to be? Do we really need to keep this going for a month, 2 months? No. Can we come back and revisit it down the road? Sure. Good feuds do that, Freaking Rock Austin was every other year at WrestleMania.
Except 18, but I do see what you mean.
Well, yeah, every other year. So it was 15, 17, 19.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Like Rock Triple H, they'd feud, they'd go their separate ways, then they came back. Then they went their separate ways, then they came back. Like Lennox and Sugars can always come back again down the road, but let Sugars get his win. Again, low mid card. This isn't upper mid card. This isn't main event.
Hell no.
We can be done with it after this.
And the match was just made tonight too, so honestly, that actually does make I don't know.
It's like, and Dion Lennox should be the final nail to fall. The final chip to fall. Like, if he's already gone through the other two guys,
which he hasn't.
Okay, so then why are we starting with Dion?
Like I said, starting point.
That should be the end point, because Dion was the quote unquote leader, even if there was no real leader.
I get that, but again, I think, like I said, they're
he should have to go through Jabroni A and Jabroni B before he gets to Dion.
I agree. I think there should have been a Dark State Gauntlet.
When you put your quarter into Mortal Kombat, you don't start off with Shang Tsung.
Well, you could if you choose a cheat code, but
you know what I mean.
Of course I do. Dude, you are Mr.
When
Logic.
You play Street Fighter, you don't start off going against M. Bison.
Or Akuma. But
you gotta make your way through the game to get to those. Like,
I don't care about that.
Especially with two other wrestlers going to be in Street Fighter. Like, come on, let's work with the analogy here.
Hey, I work with you far more than I work with the Fed, and I will never accept a contract from them. And the bottom line is this: WWE does not care about consistency, as it clearly seen. They care about popcorn moments that are cheaper than your local container of Orville Redenbacher. Yes, folks, that's still a thing. But nonetheless.
Then granted. And if they care about the cheap moments, Shaquan Sugars wins. We're done with it, because he already beat the final boss of the Dark State.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to hold out right now and say you're developing a character. You want to feel sympathetic for this hoodlum. See what he does on his own. Ride or die or burn the sunlight as a singles. I think he gets a strong performance, but I think Dark State beats him down triple threat. And, oh, wait, shit. That does mean he wins via disqualification.
Yep.
That actually makes more sense, because honestly, it doesn't end things. It just means that Dion, we're just going to make your life a hell. All right, I'll go ahead and say that Saquon wins via disqualification. I haven't even done that yet tonight, and I'm sure this is WWE. They're going to do at least one of those things. There has to be a reason why they booked all three of these matches tonight. Okay, nice and simple stuff. Let's go ahead and move on now to the top three matches that might carry the night, as far as, okay, caliber competitor, okay, connections, okay, let's see what this brings. Let's see if we get surprise changes. We've now reached the top echelon, and we will start with the NXT North American Championship. Tavion Heights, Miles Bourne, former members of the No Quarter Catch crew, of course, and Tavion Heights, Miles Bourne, both going out on their own. Basically now find themselves going after the NXT North American Championship in a one-on-one match. For those that don't know, Tavion Heights, he won, I believe, a number one contenders match to earn this. As Miles Bourne, of course, not only won this title against Ethan Page, but also he, of course, was able to retain it against a epileptic Ethan Page in literally suit clothing, which I found kind of funny. Tavion Heights has kind of been floating around between just trying to make a name for himself and find a championship opportunity, and now he finds himself challenging Tavion Heights. And again, these two used to roll together in the same unit. So there's that familiarity there that should breathe a very fun match. For those that don't know, he beat Jason Drake of the Vanity Project literally last week on NXT to earn the number one contendership. That being said, talking about title runs, Miles Bourne has now had this title for 120 days. And this will mark his, I believe, fifth defense after lasting against Johnny Gargano. I almost forgot that happened. Dion Lennox at Revenge, by the way, who first took his shot at the champion. And ironically enough, Shaquana Suggs, who had a chance back in April as part of Dark State. I guess Dion Lennox was tired of him failing. So straight up, do you believe that Tavion Heights, who might add is a former, I think, Olympian, wins the NXT North American Championship? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. JJ, former tag partners, former faction partners, both men trying to make a name for themselves here. Miles Bourne, of course, said after a long time he finally figured out what he needed to do to become a champion. Here we are. Taven Heights, though, he's been looking for that road to this championship, by the way, for quite a while. Couldn't do it against Ethan Page. Maybe he could do it against his former faction mate. What do you think?
Well, I do not believe in Tavion Heights. I believe in Miles Bourne. Just the same way that I believe in Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Hey, you just can't help yourself. Every city predicting, it's the running fucking gag.
Welcome
Continue.
back, Joe Henry.
Well, yeah, I'll give you
Shout
that.
out to Nick in the chat.
Dickhead. All right, go ahead and continue.
But yeah, I got Miles Bourne here, dude. Like, Miles Bourne, he shouldn't be able to do what he can do. Like, a lot of people with his disability would let their disability dictate them. And Miles finds a way to overcome it every twist and turn.
Mad respect for that, too.
You know, he's able to make it as a wrestler. He's got a gorgeous woman, IRL, like, dude. Stephanie Vacure.
Injured.
He gets to have the devil's kiss done to him on a nightly.
Oh, quit, you fucking idiot.
Just saying. Just throwing that out there. But who is the longest reigning North American champion? Oba?
I'm pretty sure Obafemi still holds the record.
I think it's Ethan.
Did Ethan surpass him? Or did they? Hold on, let me check here, because they both got to be the longest ones since I think previously in a bygone era it was Velveteen Dream or Gargano actually during one of his runs. Let me check. Oh wow! According to Cage Match, they were literally the exact same number of days for the longest, 273 days. Obafemi and Ethan Page. Obafemi held it, of course, for looks like 10 defenses. Ethan Page held it for more defenses, though. So I would consider Ethan Page more successful, including defenses across TNA and AAA. He held it for 12 defenses successfully.
And
yeah,
where
they
is
both have the
Miles?
same days.
And
Like
where's
what?
Miles right now?
120.
I think Miles may surpass them.
Really?
Wow.
I could see Miles keeping this until Stand and Deliver.
Wow. It's a hot take.
Yeah.
Like Miles is just that good. The fans love him. He delivers in-ring performances, or as you know, the fans of the company across the street like to call it, the graps. And he's entertaining as hell. And he's the type of guy that you want to get behind because, again, his disability.
Right.
I think Miles Bourne, like I said, is going to keep this until Stand and Deliver. I got Miles retaining.
Fair enough. Well, I'll follow suit with you and saying that I also think that Miles Bourne is going to retain as well. Again, he's been a great champion so far and has really made a name for himself and a mold and a spot for himself in NXT. And the fact that he still pushes forward through said disability, for those that don't know, he's deaf practically. He doesn't hear, but he still reacts and still can pretty much figure out where he is in the in-ring environment. Mad respect.
He can feel based off of the vibrations.
Yes, exactly. Because, of course, your senses are heightened when one, of course, is limited, if not there at all. It's also one of those things that I think Tavion Heights, he's just going to be that guy that's going to be in the pursuit of whatever. But with the fact that these two are faction mates, I definitely see this being ran back in a different aspect, especially a la Chad Gable, Kurt Angle. Talk about the graps. We're dealing with two people that got the graps and the froze. to show us what they can do and how far they can go. So this could really build something for both of these men for a moment. But that being said, I do think Miles Bourne retains the NXT North American Championship. There's a reason why, even in segments, Ethan Page, who kind of wrote him off, did say, you have to find what you need to do. He did. Now let's see if he can carry forward with what he needs to do to hold on to the championship. And at some point, will he dive into maybe that desperate demeanor like even Page did sometimes, by any means necessary? How valuable is this title? For now, though, I think integrity still rules the day, and I think Miles Bourne still leads with the gold at the end of the day. Emmanuel, what do you think?
I kind of agree with this. Is the clean sweep. This is the first time I'm in agreement. But like, so far, I was disagreeing with you guys, but
yeah, first time we're unanimous. I think that's some hot shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was unanimous on the ones he came in late on.
Oh yeah, that's true. Continue.
Oh, okay.
It's just the first one, since he joined, he wasn't running back. That we're unanimous on.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. So yeah. Miles Bourne is clearly better than Kevin Heights at this point. Their Cemetery's career. This is the feud that we wish we could have seen. Jason Jordan, aka Kurt Angle's real son.
Yeah.
If you know that reference, you know the reference. But
such a screwed up opportunity.
Versus Chad Gable, like Jason Jordan versus Chad Gable. This is that matchup, but we never got that match because of his injury, like sadly, and now they're running it back. And for me, like Miles needs to win this clearly. Like Tavion Heights, like the guy said, he's the guy who loses but always gets the opportunity. Someday he will become champion, but not right now. Maybe in the next pay-per-view, if they run it again, maybe he's now he's he's more wiser, more a compelling character. But as right now, like Tavion Heights, character-wise, he needs a refresh. He needs something. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a heel turn will benefit him, but I'm just not feeling that for some odd reason.
I don't think nobody is. Like, character, what's his character? I assault you backstage, and then I get assaulted backstage by NXT champion and still end up butt kiss. It's one of those things that right now, I don't think he has an identity. He's there. He's a body. At least with someone familiar, maybe that could breathe something out of him besides his grappling background. But yeah, that being said, unanimous. NXT North American Championship retainment. Okay, that being said, we're going to move on to our top two matches of the marquee for the night. And we're going to start off with what I think is the lesser, more important, more competitive of the two, starting with Muraku. Let's go ahead and talk about the NXT Championship as Tony D'Angelo defends the third of NXT from the latest newcomer. You all might recognize this man if you are fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling. That is the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, multiple-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, one of the bitter rivals, one of my favorites of Tomoshi for the longest time, and of course ran his own faction on the ground that made New Japan a joke and turned the Network Championship into the weak dick bitch belt. I'm of course about the former Evil, now known as Naraku. And yes,
hey,
Naraku,
don't go summoning Ash into the chat. You know how much she loves her some House of Torture. Don't do it. Don't summon Ash.
Try me. Don't think I won't. Trust me. You want me to go full on MJF NAF mode? I'll say something that blasts the fuck out of everybody here on the internet. I have no filter. Don't try me. That being said, continuing on with this, whatever. That being said, Tony D'Angelo's been a fighting champion ever since winning this title, of course, back at Stand and Deliver in that wild fatal four-way. He currently has been the NXT champion now for 81 days, and this will mark his fourth defense. He has outlasted Ollie Page, Bravo Americano, and Ken Hendricks, whatever the fuck that is. What's ironic, though, was when Naraku arrived and he left with that unique symbol dropped towards Tony D, some other big Grado-looking dude, I guess, tried to crush Tony D, and I guess Naraku beat him in a one contendership match, Mason Rook. And that's literally the only match that Naraku has had on NXT since arriving of Valor. I think the only other match he had was a squash match against, let's say, Dorado after the first week he showed up or something like that. But that being said, Tony D says he wants to be a fine champion. He wants to take on all comers. He wants to be the center of attention. He wants to introduce this chaos. Robert Stone said, fuck it. Go ahead. You can do it. But he might be a victim of his own sins. Bottom line, do you believe Naraku becomes the new NXT champion? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. I'm going to go ahead and start by saying no. I think that Naraku is way too soon. I think he came in like a complete who are you? That will even confuse the NXT universe even more. And I think he is unproven and undeserving so far since he's arrived in NXT because he only had a cup of coffee. So I'm going to say no. I think Tony D retains, and I think knowing his past, this is going to get dark. This is going to get violent. Not as violent as anything I've seen in AEW, but nonetheless, it's going to be a feud for a while because considering the field of NXT right now, who the fuck else you got right now that really could pose a threat to this man? I'm going to say that Tony D retains, though. I don't see Naraku winning. Let's go to Emmanuel next on this. Emmanuel, your thoughts on Naraku versus Tony D'Angelo? It's definitely not Aku versus Samurai Jack, but I feel like if Naraku is going to be of any merit in the WWE, he has to go back to his past before the House of Torture turned him into an absolute ass clown. That being said, what do you think?
I think Naraku is going to win this, Noah.
Okay.
Here's my thing. There's a lot to say about Tony D'Angelo. And one of them is he's not main event worthy of a guy. Lola Bice has more main event matches recently than Tony D'Angelo. Put that in perspective. A woman NXT champion is more higher than Tony D'Angelo, the current men's NXT champion.
I mean, to be fair, this is not the first promotion where the women outshine the men. In the bygone life, TNA did that weekly. Now they barely have anything left. Continue.
Yeah, but this is NXT. Like, when was the last time you in NXT history, Noah? Do you remember the woman side of the championship being the main event instead of?
Let's see. Let me go ahead and get my playbook out here on quality of matches for match cards. There was Stand and Deliver. There was Stand and Deliver last year. There was No Mercy. There was Heat Wave. There was Slammiversary, where Jesse Jane shocked the fucking world. There was, you could back me up here. You could tag in anytime, bro. Anyway, continue, Emmanuel. There's a reason why the only reason I still care about the latest NXT team and this regime is the reason I left the match for the closing argument. Continue.
Yeah. And there's a special Triple H storytelling. Tane Paxley just lost the North American title. And what did we see back a couple weeks ago? Tane Paxley, Miles Bourne, Tony D'Angelo, and Lola Bice going, are we like, do we do our business and we gonna keep the title? One of them just lost. One by one. They're gonna lose the titles. We don't know what order they're gonna be losing these titles, but it's going to happen. Right now, the storytelling is Tony D'Angelo has a burnt eye. Is that going to affect him? If Naraku loses what Tony D'Angelo won by eye, what does that tell you about Naraku as a wrestler? He can't defeat a one-eyed man? That's
one-eyed man in an ass-kicking contest. What a change in that metaphor.
So hopefully Naraku just wins this title. I don't know what you do with Tony D'Angelo in main roster. I just don't feel Tony D'Angelo as NXT World Champion. Maybe it just is me. It's my thing. Like, I do not understand the hype with Tony D'Angelo I don't. Someone needs to explain it to me in the NXT universe why he deserves to be champion. I don't understand him. That he mean the face of the NXT men's side. I guess there's no other men when during that time, but it's not working. It's not helping. So let's move on before I ramble on.
Fair enough. I will say this: he is literally part of the original class of what brought JJ back as a wrestling fan, as this was his NXT. So he also has that long-term resume merit, and he did outlast Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, and I believe it was Javon Evans to actually win this championship. Or somebody else. I can't remember. It was somewhat irrelevant, so it doesn't matter. But that being said, I also look at things like this. In
Ricky
my
Saint.
era of it, what?
Ricky Saints.
Oh yeah, that guy. Let's see here. In my era of NXT, the last time someone had a burnt eye was from a fireball opening a contract left by Scarlett Bordeaux in the name of Killer Cross TikTok. And it did lead to Killer Cross becoming, I believe, the NXT champion at the expense of course, Keith Lee. So to run that trope back, I could definitely see that. But again, to your point, Tony D, where does he go from here? Like, seriously, how you fit someone like this in the main roster that already doesn't have enough direction or top stars or honestly star creation as is? I feel like right now, yeah, there is nothing really in the top tier men's tier. So that's why you kind of carry this forward. There are some things in NXT that just have to carry on a little longer. And I feel like Nabaku needs to prove himself more through just divish tricks. So that's why I do think he's going to retain. But the fact of the matter is that right now, for the first time, I think, since we started this predictions video, it's 1-1. And the man that represents this brand gets to break it. I think it's very interesting. So that being said, let's go to JJ and see what he thinks to close this out. Hi, JJ. That being said, Tony D and Naraku. Do you think Naraku surprises us and beats a one-eyed man and seizes the NXT championship? Or do you think that somehow Tony D, he somehow prevails over Naraku in a way and we carry this forward into an even darker day? What the fuck do you think happens here?
It's an interesting thing that you guys present to me because
Right?
Tony D has been waiting for this opportunity. And I don't think he's had the opportunity to fully make the most out of it yet.
Case in point.
So I see a retention for Tony, especially with this being the Great American Bash. Because yes, while we're playing into the whole Italian thing with Tony, he is still an American.
Yes.
And he's fighting a Japanese man.
Yes.
Let us not forget about Pearl Harbor.
I didn't want to bring it up, but yes.
Granted, that was December. This is June. But I could see WWE in the name of the Great American Bash, letting the American defeat the Japanese here because of history, because of America. Hashtag America.
America.
You know,
don't
where's what's his name? Where's Zeb Coulter when we need him?
Yeah, right. I was just about to say, we the people.
But yeah, I've got Tony here. You know, I do feel he will lose it eventually. I do feel he'll lose it probably before the end of the year.
I agree.
But I don't think it's his time yet. He's still too new as champion.
Yeah. Someone that's not too new as champion is Big Al. Shout out to JCW, by the way. Alex Crowley, former JCW women's champion, I believe 2 times now.
Shout out to Dynamite Danny Moe defeating J-Rod in a ladder match on the most recent Lunacy. J-Rod won the title when we were there at Stranglemania. Danny Moe just took it off of her. Shout out to Dynamite Danny Moe.
And she'll be challenging, I believe, Hazuki for her Spart Joshi championship here very soon on the Spart Joshi promotion. So again, folks, go check out those promotions again for the women.
The wrestling.
Damn it. Anyway, Emmanuel, the court recognizes you. Speak your mind before we get into our main event.
So, JJ, are you telling me we gotta have this instance, the Italian mafia with the Yakuza mafia gang war in front of the Simpsons house?
You know what? Weirder things have happened, bro. Weirder things have happened.
If Tony D shows up in an all-white suit and we somehow see Sega sponsor this shithole, I blame you. All right, moving on. I haven't played the Yakuza video games. That's just one of those things.
Wait a minute. Did you say in front of the Simpsons house? Is that Pooh going to be out there selling slushies?
Oh my gosh.
It's an episode where Marge starts to sell the pretzels, and Homer was feeling pretty bad for Marge, so he hires the mafia to ruin everybody's businesses, and then mob landers, and they had their own business, so they hired the Yakuza mafia to destroy Marge's Italian mob. And they have a gang warfare in front of their house.
Oy vey. I remember that card. I remember when I used to watch that too, and I remember that episode. That was ridiculous, and I realize now why he did that. Well, again, America welcomes all. It's the melting pot, even for the controversial and the criminal. That being said, thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, JJ. Well, we've had a lot of unique fun, some light thoughts, and again, folks, if you're enjoying Stupid Bit Thing, stay tuned. We will be back here, Stupid Bit Thing, TNA Slammiversary, as well as Night of Champions, and AEW Forbidden Door as this week continues. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the only match that matters to me on this entire card. And let's go ahead and get right into the cornerstone of this brand that has somehow still prevailed to stay as such, and get into the match of graps that could top this shit still the week, not only for women's wrestling, but wrestling championship matches, damn it. Let's go ahead and dive right into our main event for the NXT Women's Championship. It is, of course, this is for you, Walter, Mamacita Lola Vice, who won this title at Stand Deliver, Buenas Noches, and Jessie Jane down to SmackDown, taking on modern day Kurt Angle, in my opinion, full on collegiate, all around athlete, Tom Girl that knows how to put away some cake, and honestly, my favorite right now in WWE for the women, particularly Kendall Gray. When these two are in the ring together, it's magic. It's the definition of a former MMA fighter literally grappling with an all collegiate professional wrestler, and it still is unknown who the better woman is after what happened in that fatal four-way at Stand Deliver. There will no longer be an asterisk. There will no longer be a what if. We finally see these two sell it one-on-one for the NXT Women's Championship. Let's fucking go. All right, straight up, we know Lola Vice. We know her stock. She's been involved in AAA, but of course, Kendall Gray, she was pretty much announced and picked by John Cena as the future of the business. WWE don't fuck this up. Lola Vice, of course, been a fighting champion. Mamacita, of course, who has been with Kendall Gray not once, but twice. However, this will be their second ever singles encounter. And of course, Lola Vice has already defended this title against the likes of Izzy Dame from the Calling, whatever relevancy that faction has left. She has been NXT Women's Champion now for 81 days, and this will actually be, believe it or not, her fifth defense. She's defended against Miss Parker. She defended against Jessie Jane Revenge for sending her down to SmackDown. And she later defended it on AAA against La Hiedra. However, Kendall Gray and Wen Sinclair, right now, they're kind of doing their own things. We've seen this chronicle as of late for Kendall Gray. So it really does tell me they want to push this woman for what she brings. Kendall Gray and Lola Vice are also coming off a mutual, maybe a little bit of tension there for one upsmanship in the drive for the gold tag encounter after overcoming Kalani Jordan and Zarya. In fact, Kendall Gray won against Kalani Jordan to earn this match in the number one contendership. Bottom line, though, is it time that we take things in the gray zone? Is it Kendall Gray's time, or do we still fucking hold out? Like, seriously, how much longer do you hold out for the premier athlete right now, literally on your WWE Women's roster, for fuck's sake? And how much longer do you hold out before you push Lola Vice towards maybe greater things? Just saying, your main roster needs it. Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. Too bad Walter isn't here. I can only imagine. But since I'm sure he's already ESP and the guy on my right, we will start with him. All right, JJ. Lola Vice, Kendall Gray. It's the Grats. It's the women of NXT. It's the women, the premier women, I believe, in NXT and in WWE, period, over a championship. Duking it out once for all, finding out who the better one is. Who you got in the NXT Women's Championship?
This is honestly the hardest one for me to call.
Right?
Which is why I'm glad you saved it for last.
Damn fucking right.
On the one hand, even though she's defended it 5 times, I don't feel like Lola's had it enough. You know, she waited so long to get it, hasn't even crossed the 100-day marker yet.
Nope.
On the other hand, she's still the AAA Mixed Tag Champion with Mr. Iguana as well.
Correct. After defeating Joaquin Wild and La Hiedra last month and defending them.
I feel like she does more in AAA than she does in NXT.
Jury is out.
And if you don't pull the trigger on Kendall here, when do you pull it? Because, like, you don't want to wait too long like you did with Lola. I feel like Lola would be better suited as a full-time AAA performer. So I'm going to go, and maybe it's an Emmanuel card prediction. I'm going with Kendall. I say we enter the gray zone.
All righty. JJ has set the ballot to enter the gray zone. And JJ, I agree with you. I feel like if Kendall Gray doesn't win it here, they've already missed the boat on the future leader of not only maybe the WWE Women's Division, not just in NXT, but maybe in WWE, if not women's wrestling. Damn it. This woman has all the tools and the personality to literally be a top tier star in this business if booked correctly. So again, WWE, don't fuck up the only reason I care about the letters NXT when it comes to this premier athlete. Damn it. I said what I said. If it wasn't for Kendall Gray, this card would be absolutely 0 fucks for me. But yeah, it's one of those things right now with the friendship. And yeah, I guess honestly, if the birthright somehow gets something that gives them a bit more strength than Viagra on a man, with that speed sticker, then I suppose that Wen and Kendall could have that supportive friendship. But how many times do we see maybe mutual respect? You can challenge me for the title. You want to challenge me? I would love to see you do it. Or fallouts, and we see where both women go from there, because we really haven't seen Wen Sinclair bring us, and maybe that's just because we all love her so much as an entertaining personality, not really as a heel. But again, when it comes to championships,
I think, not to cut you off, I think that's where we go with it. I think we go to Tuesday after, and we think we're having a celebration
with cake,
and Ren drops her,
or throws a cake in her face, because we know Kendall Gray loves cake, and she will scarf cake down, as I've seen, including on her birthday. Happy recent birthday to her.
And both of them have cake, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, stop that.
But Ren drops her because she lost her title, and Kendall was nowhere to be found.
And again, when
and
these two...
Kendall wins the title and expects Ren to be there.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that you say that, though, because Kalani Jordan was the one that was first trying to push a shove in between these two after involuntarily when Sinclair, of course, got injured and also cost Kendall Gray away opportunity, to the point that Kendall and Wen mutually decided to do their own thing for now. But still, we're best friends. You're my best friend here, you know? went QCC forever. And of course, we've seen them tag together and destroy WWE. They don't make tag teams happen. They destroy them, and you see one maybe rise to the occasion. The other one is left to relevancy. Hopefully, with these two, they don't fuck them up in that case. But
And
yeah,
let's not forget that QCC was a heel faction to begin with
correct.
until Ren finally got accepted and made them baby faces.
Correct. Yeah, bottom line, me and JJ, it's one of those freaking once in a lifetime moments, folks. True 100% agreement and booking wise analysis. We're both looking to go into the gray zone. It's Kendall Gray's time to lead NXT into the future and the WWE as we know it. Maybe restore new life, new foundation, new belief, new potential, and a caliber athlete of competition and character development in Kendall Gray. If Obafemi was the diamond in the rough for the men, Kendall Gray is the gem for the women if WWE doesn't fuck it up. And it starts at the Great American Bash. Kendall Gray for the win. That being said, Manuel, you close things out. Are we unanimous? Now, again, folks, in case you don't know, he's Latino. Or you think Lola Vice holds on to it for a little longer. To JJ's point, we've even seen her involved in trios action alongside Bailey and La Catalina in AAA. So she is very heavily founded in AAA. But it doesn't look like she's right now looking anywhere in the conversation for the AAA Reina Championship. That's La Catalina. But like I said about Mina, La Catalina could be AAA's Mina if they book her correctly. And if La Catalina becomes the AAA Reina champion, we all know that Mamacita can have a mean attitude. Lola Vice could maybe go after her for that. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there, as we are probably looking at the outlook of the best potential wrestlers in WWE's future if they don't fuck it up. What do you got to say regarding Lola Vice versus Kendall Gray? Are you going in the gray zone, or do you got Lola Vice saying buenos noches for now and Kendall Gray's chances?
Well, this is a hard one, Noah. I can see.
I love it.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Yeah, match that matters, that actually you're really not sure which way it could go, but you're not necessarily mad either way it can go. And there's still a great way for both it can go. So that being said, let's go with your final analysis on this match. Kendall Gray or Lola Vice. Good luck, bro.
Yeah, and this is why I went against Tony D, because like if this women's championship got me intrigued and got me confusing who to pick, what does that tell you? Anyways,
yeah.
But back to this match. But I was gonna use my manager card too. I was gonna pick Kendall Gray as well, but then I started thinking, knowing the Kalani Jordan comes out, toss Kendall Gray the match.
Oh, fuck that.
Kendall Gray versus Lola Vice. Kendall Gray wins the title. And then the little Kendall Gray versus Kendall. And that's for the title. And Kendall finally wins it by then. Because if you're Kalani Jordan, who's the more easier victim? The one that you have beaten and made tapped out, or somebody you can't beat?
Well, considering Kendall Gray kicked her ass and made her, of course, be out of the championship picture, and Kalani Jordan also got her ass knocked out by Lola Vice, not once, but twice. I think Kalani Jordan is better off going to be with him to make him and her relevant, if possible, since Camilla Hayes is out of the United States Championship equation. Of course, that would have made too much sense. But that being said, a whole different conversation. I think Kalani Jordan, that boat has sailed. But I can see her involved in the championship picture, but as far as anything involved here, if she fucks us up at Great American Bash, this NXT can kiss my ass. Continue.
I agree. I agree. No, I feel the same boat. Because I feel like it's Kendall Gray's time to shine.
And say that you pick.
I just tell you, like I could see, I'm torn because I want to say Kendall Gray, but just at the same time, I just told you my version why WWE and Shawn Michaels and Triple H will pick Lola Vice. It writes itself. And if I had to bite the bullet, I had to go with Lola Bice, unfortunately.
Oh,
Just, yeah. It's.
probably going to be unanimous.
I really don't want to do that because, like, yeah, they're just on the money. Like, it's not even 100 days, and she really hasn't really defended it yet on a pay-per-view on a higher scale of aptitude of this. It's what, like, I don't know. Like, I may switch my pick in the last minute because predictions are not final till deadline. No pun
Yeah,
intended.
you are correct. Predictions subject to change, much like cars subject to change. And of course, you will have literally until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night, June 28th, to finalize.
But yeah, for me, I hope Kendall Gray does win it because if people are saying that AEW Tony Khan should buy out Kendall Gray's contract, and that's telling you something.
Ooh, I like that idea.
That's telling you something, and NXT needs to treat Kendall Gray right. If they like you said, no, if they fuck this up, don't be surprised as the Sony TK goes knocking on the door, saying, "Hey, you want to come to AEW and become women's champion?" Kendall Gray's not gonna say no to that, and just depends on the numbers he's gonna give her. That's all you have to do.
Well, in this business, it's about two things. It's numbers, and it's also about respect. Respect for your talent, respect for your potential, and how you hone in on it. With a girl that can wrestle, where the best can potentially wrestle, is a what if. But I'm going to stay 100% transparent here and look at it like this. The character, the work, the trust, the endorsement, of course, everyone at WWE is just an asset, should be enough, I think, what they will use Kendall Gray to their best benefit because God knows the WWE needs all the fucking help they can get. So I really hope they don't fuck this up. And again, it's not too far-fetched for Little Vice to lose this because multiple women's championships have been short runs. In a bygone era, Rhea Ripley only had it for 99 days. Kairi Sane only had it for 71 days. Freaking Julia had it for 63 days. Instead of Akira, which turned to the biggest WTF of 2025, she had it for less than 100 days as well before Jessie Jane clapped her and moved her down, or excuse me, moved her up. Well, the jury is out to the freaking main roster. Tatum Paxley was a fever dream for a holiday trick or treat. But the bottom line is, yeah, Lola Vice, she has that spot and she has the potential in AAA where The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, can cater to her character development, especially with her roots. Kendall Gray, though, resets the NXT Women's Division as a whole once again and maybe sends off Kalani Jordan once and for all. It sounds like to me there's a new, fresh start in NXT's Women's Division with Kendall Gray taking it to the gray zone now versus later. There's only so many times you can say, what if, and not capitalize on it. And then when it happens, like, okay, great. Kendall Gray should not be an example of that. It's now or I'm not sure if ever. And that's it. All right.
It's Oscar Oscar Reign is never going to be touched anytime soon.
Well, I know that. I mean, no one's going to be
in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, like well, maybe 20 years, when are we going to see that again?
Never. That was 510 days, dude, undefeated. And Asuka, still to this day, is undefeated in NXT. And she's now on her own permanent mental hiatus. And who knows when we're going to see the next time the Empress of Tomorrow rises today. But that being said, I know this. As today comes to an end here on Sleepy Dating, and today comes to an end here at the East Coast, because believe it or not, it's officially midnight here. Welcome to Wednesday. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? We're going to bed. Thank you all for tuning in to Sleepy Dating. So again, let your prediction be known. Who do you see becoming NXT Women's NXT Champion? Who leads NXT into the fall season through a sizzling summer? Does it lead a heat wave? Do we take things into the gray zone? Do we see new faces, new heel developments? Do we cast off more people to the main roster? Let us know your opinions in the chat and your thoughts in the comments down below. And thank you all for tuning in once again. let's get the fuck out of here as we close the book on one episode of 4 this week. Bloody hell, I'm crazy. Us to be dating. Thank you once again, Emmanuel. Always appreciate you. Tell us all the people where they can find you.
Sorry about that. I thought I had unmuted, but botch.
Bloody hell, bot.
Yeah. Anyways, you can find me, Manny Dominguez, on Facebook, EDM7224, on Instagram. You can follow Arlene Dominguez, Facebook, Arlene Dominguez, and Instagram, ADM72244, on the X, and you can follow me on my other channel, Interactive Games and Movies, where we have more games than movies lately, but it's because of YouTube. Make up your damn mind what's copyright and what's not. Like, help me out. Let me figure it out. Can I use YouTube movies and that you claim to be copyright? How can I produce if you have movies on your own YouTube channel? How can I win? Do I do the watch live? So at this point, like I guess I have to just explain the movie like JJ did once upon a time and Renegade reviews. If you haven't, check out those old videos.
Talk about a bygone era.
Yeah.
But it's a good people who's new and don't know about your earlier work, JJ.
The Genesis that was cast in 18 studios in the beginning.
I know, right?
Right. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. Appreciate you always. And shout out to Lane Dominguez, who, of course, retired from NXT prediction leagues after 1 point cost her everything last year, which still is hilarious to me. Good luck, by the way. I think you're still in the top 10. Of course, folks, stay tuned for leaderboards. They will be out next week once all these shows concludes across all 4 leagues. What, Emmanuel? I see your hand.
How many pay-per-views have we had with NXT? 2, 3? This year?
I think we had Vengeance Day, Stand Deliver, and I think this is the 3rd, actually. Or was there another one? I don't recall. Give me a second. My brain's thinking.
I think this is just the 3rd.
Yeah, this is the 3rd. This is literally the 3rd.
So this prediction is going to be like, okay, now for next year, hopefully they improve them with the pay-per-views and not. This is whoever's going to be in top.
You know, they might fall the I mean, we know we're going to probably have Deadline at least. Maybe No Mercy. Maybe Heat Waves. So they might give us the nice 6. I'm not sure. Oh, that's funny.
With NXT, it seems like every even month is a PLE and every odd month is a TV special.
Yeah,
or at least that's the way they were doing it for a while, because they had like New Year's Evil, Vengeance Day,
Roadblock,
Stand and Deliver,
Revenge,
and then Great American Bash.
There you go. Well, 1 month had nothing, but you know, that's not a bad thing. All right. Well, thank you for that, Emmanuel. JJ, go ahead and tell what you currently do, what you currently are, where the people can find you outside Chase you. Appreciate you, bruv.
Look, let's not sit here and hate on anybody's graphic, okay?
I'm not hating on your graphic. I'm hating on the institution.
Hey, the institution is accredited and has produced some great talent. Look, forget about the accredited. Look at the people on that picture. I think you can only really count 3 people that meh.
I think, JJ, the problem is that the one that we hosted is Chucky. How can you have a accredited institution with a serial killer?
Every university has its mascot.
So I counted 8 irrelevants, including the doll, but that's just me. Continue. Bloody hell.
Damn, I only really count 3. Bodhi, and then Uriah and Kale.
You're more generous than me.
And Uriah still TBD because he's in the birthright. We'll see if he rises to any kind of glory coming out of that.
Oh, that dude. That dude already is on the vasectomy train. Anyway, continue.
But yes, throw that back up there. You
I
can
got you.
find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams. YouTube is Casa D18 Studios. X is Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end. Go check out on Duke Hanson, formerly Hudson's YouTube channel, his two-part sit-down with Andre Chance, formerly Andre Chase. Really good stuff. I know, Noah, you're not the biggest Chase U fan. The first 45 minutes, the first part is kind of Andre's whole story and becoming a wrestler, teaming with his brother, getting the call to come to WWE. The second half is all about Chase U, basically. But there's really good stuff in there. I obviously already was a fan, became even more of a fan. I have a feeling that it may turn haters into fans. That all being said, in addition to all that stuff, make sure you're following Simply Reliable Studios on the X, as that's where I make all the major announcements regarding interviews and whatnot. We do have an interview coming up this Thursday. I don't have the graphic loaded in. I'm not going to waste my time.
Don't waste your time. Just talk.
We do have an interview coming up this Thursday with the Pro Wrestling Symphony Tag Team Champions Royal Prestige, Tavon Jordan and Majestic. Next week, we have a pending interview. Just waiting to get the final information lined up with a former two-time TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion. We also have an interview coming up next week with independent wrestler and Nightmare Factory graduate Nasty Leroy, who is featured on the poster for GCW's Backyard Wrestling Show, which will be taking place on July 5th in a backyard somewhere in America. They don't disclose the location because it's literally someone's backyard. It's by invitation only. So
that's so funny.
But he's on the poster, so we figured we'd get him in. We've been interacting with him over the past year in Spaces and figured this was the time to pull the trigger to get an interview with him. We've also got an interview coming up towards the end of July with former WWE Tag Team Champion and a member of the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy. That should be a really interesting interview. We're going to go in depth about the schism as well as the Wyatts. I'm literally going to steal a question that I saw in Duke's interview with Andre Chase. He asked him what went right and what went wrong with Chase University. I'm going to ask Joe what went right and what went wrong with the schism. Because I feel like there was some really good stuff going there, and then it just completely got derailed. And then I've also been interacting with a former 3-time TNA Knockouts Tag Champion, 1-time Knockouts Champion via her Twitch streams, and maybe getting an interview with her coming in mid-July. Be on the lookout for that announcement if and when we get that locked in. But yeah, I'm moving, man. And then Walter has been putting in some work to try and lock in an interview as well with a talent that gave him her phone number when we were in Las Vegas. So
good stuff all around. And again, it keeps on bringing a further connection to the wrestlers and bringing their stories forward. And all I can say is more power to him, folks. You learn further details about all those to come. Again, subject to change. Follow SR Studios 2024 today on the X. At some point, I got to update the banner because someone needs to be modernized here since someone knows what's current and what's not. But nonetheless, thank you, JJ. And I thank all of you.
You know what? Look. We go back and forth all the time about Twitter X. I understand it's X now, but as a Beatles fan, as a Paul McCartney fan, the Bluebird,
Still, nah. Doesn't
great
affect
Paul
me.
McCartney song, Bluebird. Check it out for those of you that don't know. I believe it was during his Wings era.
Well, fair. Still, doesn't affect me. All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ. And again, as JJ talked about, follow us at SR Studios 2024. That's the mothership, if you will. But follow everyone here at the Simple Album Studios. If you haven't already, subscribe today to the Rage of Wrestling Walter Cruz at Walter Alex Cruz on the X. Rage of Wrestling YouTube, of course, is the mothership for him. And again, if he gets 300, you will see him and the missus participate in something that risks both their livers. So again, if you want to see that MEMC, then subscribe today at Rage of Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead. Subscribe to our Canadian friend, the better Canadian, but I would say on behalf of many people that I've engaged with, Ash. Shout out about Ash on the X. Batty for Wrestling on YouTube. Don't be a dickhead. She takes care of professional priorities over miscellaneous passions, but is a young punk for life and by heart. So again, subscribe today to Batty for Wrestling at Shadowbat Dash. Attila, of course, our Mighty Morphin Pink Power Ranger. The other, of course, queen of the SRS. You could, of course, follow her original venture at Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube and at the various outlets, or follow her newest venture at Pop Culture Powerbomb on the X, as you see right there. Just look up PC Powerbomb to see what sort of ventures you get in store and Comic Con and, of course, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers content, as her and Ash Dash will soon bring you a pop culture podcast as well. Again, Emmanuel plugged on Arlene, but I will plug on behalf of Arlene as she was last year's NXT League winner. We're guaranteed a new winner this year because she retired. So good luck to everybody in the NXT League. And if you want to further follow and engage with me, then you can find me at M. Foster in 1916 on the X and on YouTube, for I am nothing more but a simple man and a proud American, but also a lifelong fan of professional wrestling, damn it, who again is here to remind and encourage you on the winners, no losers, no betters, just fans on fans for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, support one another, respect, share, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, no matter how much they annoy you, Nick. And just to love your professionalism too, it's as simple as that. Shout out to Nick and Mrs. Ferrantes as well in all their ventures and what they do. And of course, the work that he offers here in trying to basically bring an interview and analysis to watch alongs that involve me, as it seems, but always a fun blast to call stuff with him. And speaking of calls, boy, do we got a lot of calls in store for you. We got, of course, AEW Dynamite coming tomorrow night. Burger King graphic. We'll work on it at some point, or JJ will. One of us will take care of it, Nick. And we'll put your missus on there as well, because she also provides her own analysis, even as not a true wrestling fan, but learning to become one. Mad respect to, of course, the missus. Again, here we are covering AEW Dynamite. I will not be part of that call because I will be taking care of some other stuff. For once, I'm not on AEW Dynamite. I know it feels weird, right? But hey, even I get a break, folks, believe it or not. But I also will be back
That'll
here.
be Walter and Nick.
Thank you very much. And of course, I will be back here bringing you Honor with Ring of Honor Global Wars Cincinnati Week 2 on Thursday night. Prior, of course, to Cindy Predicting Forbidden Door at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday Night Live here at SR Studios, the Superman's brand. Of course, Friday, the only thing that's on the agenda will be WWE Night of Champions, Cindy Predicting. That is also planned right now for 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday night, ahead of the call for Night of Champions, which I believe will be Walter Cruz and our own Jeff Mutter Meacham. So stay tuned for more on that. Then following that, we will have City Predicting for TNA Slammiversary, The Impact. What is left of it? The Morgan Friggin documentary coming soon to you from the Civil Level Studios. TNA Slammiversary City Predicting will be 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday afternoon. As, of course, we will be doing prediction leads and predictions for all of those shows and those matches, too. And, of course, it all culminates with our coverage, not only this week of Night of Champions, but also, of course, with the Forbidden Door, the other two shows to be determined based on platforms and funding. Emmanuel, I see you got your hand up. What you got to say real quick?
Yeah, Noah, you should really call it AEW's Not So Forbidden Door in this year, because it's not really that forbidden to begin with. So I just say, like, it's not so forbidden.
I'm only going to say that one time, and then everyone better shut the fuck up, or I'm literally banning you from City Predicting for life. The Forbidden Door was a concept of an idea of a relationship amongst other promotions coming together one night for competition overall. Throughout the year, in other businesses, you see exhibitions showcasing unique talent from other places. But a forbidden door is not necessarily forbidden if you have an open door policy. Name concept be damned. You're getting Starlight Kid for the first time. You're getting Teton and Shigo Takagi for the first time together as a tag team. You have Stardom and NJPW representation on pay-per-view for the only time during a calendar year. Quote unquote, that sentence, particularly for the Japanese promotions. As CMLL got Grand Slam. The bottom line, if you try to dissect a show based on name value, you will be heavily disappointed in what you hope the name implies versus what the content brings. And if you believe that a show should be implied by name versus implied by the wrestling, get the fuck out of the business, because nothing's forbidden except WWE and AEW that will never work together as long as freaking capitalism and blood money freaking lives and breathes. Thank you for coming into this TED Talk. And if you have something else to say about the Forbidden Door, I will take your freaking comment and throw it into a furnace. All right. That being said, thank you, Emmanuel. Now shut the fuck up. All right. Thank you all for tuning in so much again for City Predicting. We'll see you, of course, here. Next City Predicting will be Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you for AW Dynamite tomorrow night. And that's all I got to say on that matter and other things, too. So now I bid you all a fine adieu on behalf of the fact we are approaching the 250th year of the Red, White, and Blue. For JJ, for Emmanuel, for Canadians, for Mexicans, for Americans, Italians, binaries, non-binaries. JJ, what you got to say real quick?
I just wanted to bring up something really quickly because I just saw it on my X and had to fact check it. But since you're East Coast, it is technically relevant. 25 years ago today, so June 24th, for you East Coasters, 25 years ago today, Shane McMahon versus Kurt Angle. King of the Ring match.
What a banger.
Yeah, it was a damn good match. Hopefully, Jey Uso and Obafemi have a banger that doesn't underwhelm me. Well, I'm not on the call, so I got to worry about that. All right, thank you for that. And again, King of the Ring mattered more during that time. We'll see what happens this weekend. Freaking Liv Morgan. Bullshit. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation for another day. You want more TED Talks on that? Super Chat, Pip of the Patch. It's as simple as that. Fuck name gimmick. Fuck freaking identity with piss poor music brought by AI agents, even if they are people. And fucking differences where people can't freaking share different opinions without chastising each other versus having a constructive conversation. This is Survival Studios. I am the Simple Man, the Simple Man's brand, and I approve this message. Thank you all for tuning in once again to another City Predicting. Make a positive impact in life. God bless you and God bless America. And have a good night. And we'll see you next time here for another edition of Simply Predicting Anything But. Have a good night, folks, and thank you for tuning in.
Happy 4th of July.
Oh, the land of the free. And for those that fucking JJ, I'll beat it to the punch. Believe in Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
JJ was not even going to say that.
I knew he was. I knew he was. It's every time. You can't end an episode without fucking pissing me off, so let me piss myself the fuck off. But at least it rhymed with a freaking campaign that talks about why we are America. And with that being said, I want everybody to please rise, put your hand over your heart, and in a loud, clear voice, say along with me, we the people.
Again, happy 4th of July.
Believe and chase you.